In just 1 second. All right, everyone, just give me a moment. My computer is working very slow because it's Friday. All right, everyone, welcome to the 187 District Court. These are the rules of the 187 District Court. You're in a courtroom. So whether you're at your house, at the jail, at your office, you're in a courtroom. If you behave inappropriately as though you are not in a courtroom, your Zoom privileges will be revoked and you will have to appear in court. So what does that mean? That means you leave your home, you leave your office, you drive through the traffic that is San Antonio, you search for a parking space. That parking space is going to cost you money. And then you make it to the courtroom and your Friday is not as you expected it to be. So everyone, let's keep this a Friday. Let's not try to turn it into a Monday. To all of the inmates, you're not allowed to use the chat box. If you use the chat box, you will be sent back. Also, to all the inmates, if you're wearing a mask on your chin, then it begs the question, why are you wearing a mask at all? It is not hockey. It should not be used as a chin strap. My understanding, I'm not a medical doctor, but the appropriate way to wear that mask is over your nose and over your mouth. You're not just protecting yourself, you're protecting others. To everyone else, if you have an agreement, you need to put it in the chat box. That person you will put that agreement in the box to is listed as Ferguson. She is the court coordinator. She will need to know your client's email address if your client is on bond. I know that everyone is aware that juries have been suspended. This court still will follow the plea deadline rules. Because court has jury trials have been suspended, this is your last day to enter a plea. If you do not enter a plea today, as soon as juries begin again, you will be set for jury trial. And that will be the next setting that comes up. So I want to make everyone aware of that. So this court's rules will still follow. I'm going to open breakout rooms. When I open breakout rooms, it's going to invite everyone to a breakout room. Do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call you by name and assign you to that room. To all those who are accused or are defendants, your attorney is probably going to want to speak to the state before they speak to you in a breakout room. So please do not request to go to a breakout room unless you've been asked to go to that breakout room. I'm going to call the attorney's names. To all of those who are accused or defendants, your name will not be called. Your attorney's name will be called. If you do not hear your attorney's name, it's because they're Zooming in another courtroom. They will get a chance to come in and Zoom in this meeting and meet you. So please do not raise your hand or interrupt and say, I didn't hear my attorney's name. Because I just told you, if you don't hear your attorney's name, it's because they are Zooming in another courtroom. The other thing, this Zoom is not for anyone to pick up dates. You are not to use this chat box in order to pick up dates. And I know you probably asked, why would I say that? Because people have done it before. That is not allowed. If you try to turn this into the Bachelor or Bachelorette, your Zoom privileges will be revoked. Attorneys, I'm going to call your name. This is the order in which you will appear. If you see your name is low on the list and you wish to Zoom to another courtroom, you're more than welcome to Zoom to another courtroom. However, if you're Zooming in another courtroom, your name is called, you will be placed at the end of the list. Anita Garza, Eddie Bravenich, Blakely Moore, Jocelyn Andrews, John Young, Michael Hernandez, Bobby Gibbia, Bobby Barrera, Warren Wolfe, Roland Garcia, Ed Bartholomew, Shannon Locke, Michael White, James Anders, Robert Wilson. Is there any attorneys whose name I have missed? All right, attorneys, when I call your name, I will need the name of your client and I will need to know whether or not it's criminal trial division or family violence. You will then be assigned to a breakout room. Treat those breakout rooms as the doctor's office. When you go there, they're checking your weight and blood pressure before you see the doctor. As you can tell, there are more defense attorneys than there are prosecutors. Everyone, put some patience in your pocket. Remember, it's Friday. Let's not make it until Monday. All right, Anita Garza.
Yes, Your Honor. I've got Kevin Hagerling. It's family violence. And if I could talk to one of the prosecutors.
I will send you to breakout room number 2. A prosecutor will meet you there. Eddie Brabenant.
Good morning, Your Honor. I am Marco Contreras. It's Criminal Trial Division. On this particular case, I need to get some of the video.
Somebody, please, will you mute yourself? Because I can't hear over all the coughing. All right, I'm sorry, Eddie. What did you say?
Judge, on this particular case, I need to get a thumb drive with the videos. It is not the prosecution's fault. I've just been swamped for the last 3 days. I wondered if you'd be kind enough to recall the case for next Thursday, which would give me time to get those videos and discuss it with my client.
All right, Norma, on Marco Contreras. And where is your client? Is he in custody or on bond?
He's in custody, Your Honor.
All right, Norma, on Marco Contreras, can we call this Thursday of next week? Norma, you're on mute.
Sorry, Judge, I was having issues with this. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm just having issues. Go ahead.
Marco Contreras, can he come back on Thursday of next week?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you on August 12th.
Thanks so much, Judge.
Mr. Contreras, we'll see you back on August 12th. Mr. Contreras, can you raise your hand because we have more than one Contreras on the screen? Norma, can you let them know that 17C can go back?
Yes, ma'am.
And everyone, just give me 1 second. All right, Blakely Moore.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
Great. It's Friday.
Yes.
And the sun is out.
Your Honor, I have a alcohol-related case with Mr. Hunter Morris. Francis Barnett is our client. My co-counsel Robert Wilson is here as well, and we will gladly go talk to Mr. Hunter again.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 3. Jocelyn Andrews.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Who do you have?
I have Jahagan Alexander. He is in custody and it's family violence. I last conferred with Joe Ray. I'd like to confer with Joe Ray one more time, please.
Yes. I'll send you to breakout room number 4. All right, John Young.
Yes, madam. I am here on Anthony Salinas and Jesse Esparza. And I don't believe that there's much sense in conferring.
Well, let's not say that on a Friday, John. Young, you never know. Miracles can happen.
It would be.
All right, so let's not throw away miracles until we know they don't happen. All right,
Well, Your Honor,
are both cases criminal trial division or family violence?
family violence, I believe.
Okay, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5.
Thank you, Madam.
You're welcome. Michael Hernandez.
Good morning, Your Honor. I've got Mr. Eduardo Munoz. It's a CTD. I've been discussing this with Marcus. I'll try talking one more time. Miracles might happen.
It is. I'm telling you, it can happen. Why do they make songs about it if it can't happen, right?
I agree with you, Judge. It's Friday. Let's be hopeful.
Yes. So I'm placing you in number 6.
Thank you, Judge.
Bobby Gebbia.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Stephen Quintero. He is in custody in the Bexar County Jail, and it is a family violence case. I would like to confer with David Martin if he's available. If not, any other family violence prosecutor will do.
All right. How do you spell the last name?
Quintero, Quintero. Quintero.
Okay. I was putting an A at the end instead of the O. I'll send you to breakout room number 7.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Okay. Bobby Barrera.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Frank Tallarico. He's on. I've been conferring with Hunter and happy to try one more time.
All right. Thank you. See, this is what I'm talking about. We're going to communicate today.
Just for you, Judge.
I appreciate it. I'm going to send you to number 8.
Thank you, Judge.
Warren Wolfe.
I represent Justin Rodriguez. It's a family violence case. I've been conferring with Joe Ray Garcia.
All right. I'm going to send you to number 9.
Thank you.
Roland Garcia.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm
Morning.
here for Brandon Garza. It's a family case.
I'll send you to number 10.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Ed Bartholomew. Good to see you, Ed. You're on mute.
Am I unmuted now, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. Good morning. I have 3 cases. First case is Michael Griffin. Your Honor, the state graciously offered him a pretrial diversion. He's reconsidered his position and he's going to apply.
All right. Norma, on Michael Griffin, can I get a date for PTD?
Yes, ma'am.
PTD date, please. I've got 2 more, Judge.
Okay. All right.
You want the 30-day, Judge?
Yes, the usual PTD date.
I can do September. Hold on. Make sure that's not September 3rd.
All right. We'll come back on September 3rd for an update on that case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Next, I have Mr.
Just one moment. I have to write it down, Ed.
Sorry, Judge.
That's okay. Michael Griffith, you're excused. Who's your next person, Ed?
I have Chris McGarity. He's in there, Your Honor. At this point in time, there may be a potential conflict. I've got to confer with him on that. But at this point, he's not accepting the plea agreement.
Okay. And you say there may be a conflict?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And then who's your other person?
Sean Lagish, Your Honor. And at last count, he has wanted a trial, Judge.
All right. That's criminal trial division?
Yeah, it's assault. Family violence.
All right. So we will address your other issue after you speak with someone on Lagish. So I'm going to send you to number 11. And while you wait for the attorney to come in number 11, if you want, I can send McGarity in there if he's here. Is he on bond or on custody?
He's on bond, Your Honor. And he's in
All
the
right.
courtroom.
All right, courtroom. Can you go to breakout room number 11, please? And Mr. Bartholomew, if you go to 11 and let me know if there's a conflict. All right, Ed, I've sent you to number 11.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Shannon Locke.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Dustin Newkirk, Criminal Trial Division.
Thank you for changing your name. I'll send you to number 12.
Thank you.
Michael White.
Yes, Your Honor, I've got Willie Lee Jackson. And the last time we were here, I asked for a jury trial. You said, we'll get your confirm that you received discovery. And I've done that. So I haven't asked for a plea bargain, but I've done the discovery thing. And so I just want a jury trial setting.
All right, is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Oh, it's family violence.
All right, have you received an offer from the state?
No.
All right, the court requires that the state give an offer on all their cases and that the defense counsel tender it to their client. And then if their client wants a jury trial, then we will give you a jury trial. So I think you should probably get an offer first. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 13.
Which, 13, yes. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. James Anders.
Yes, Judge, I have David Gonzalez. He's in the courtroom and we are set for jury trial. I'll speak to a prosecutor if they're interested. It's a family violence case.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 14.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Anita Garza, you're back.
Your Honor, if I can, I guess the CLO, I don't know if I sent her a private message for the report to see if she's got it. And then if I can confer with my client, I think he said he's in the Zoom. Kevin Hagerling.
Yes, I'll send him breakout room number 2. If you go to breakout room number 2, and in the chat box, if you will put your email address to the probation officer, she'll send you whatever documents you're asking for.
Judge, on Michael Griffin, they haven't received anything on the pretrial diversion.
No, he just accepted it. He just accepted it today.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor.
Yes.
On Mr. Lagish, he persists in his request for a trial.
All right, where's Mr. Lagish?
He was present in the courtroom, Your Honor. He was on 11 at the time. He's in the back of the room now, Judge.
Okay, no, I thought you were going to speak with Mr. McGarity on your conflict issue. Did you speak with Mr. McGarity?
Mr. McGarity and I are going to have to visit on that, Your Honor. The reason is he wants a trial. That's not the issue, Judge. We may have a conflict regarding the complaint in this case.
All right, so that conflict needs to work out because everybody who wants a jury trial that was scheduled for jury trial today, you're being moved for jury trial to September.
I understand, Your Honor, but we're
all right. And the
discuss.
person before me, is this Mr. Lagish?
Yes.
All right, why are you rocking back and forth and have your hands folded? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What is the issue?
She could hear you.
Oh, sorry.
All right,
Could be a
so-
nervous tick, Judge.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Well, I'm glad he was dressed for jury trial. All right, there will be no further plea bargain agreements accepted in this court on this case. And this is a family violence case. So Norma, what is the first date in September for jury trial?
It will be September, let me give you the correct date, Judge. September 14th, Judge.
And Your Honor, I have a sexual assault, aggravated sexual assault case set in Wilson County on the 13th, Judge.
All right, well, we'll see if it goes or not. You never know.
And that would be true, Judge.
Miracles can happen.
Well, Judge Ellison has assured me he's moved me to number 1 on the docket, Judge.
Oh, even though juries have been suspended, it's nice that they're like doing their thing. Okay.
That's last I heard, Your Honor. We go live over in those counties.
All right, Mr. Lagish,
Yes, ma'am.
you're going to need to appear in court on September 14th for jury trial. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you think you're appropriately dressed for jury, then there you are.
I'll address that issue, Judge.
All right, Norma, he's going to need a reset form for September 14th.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Mr. McGarity.
He's present in the courtroom, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. McGarity, if you'll come forward, please.
He stepped out, Your Honor. He'll be right back.
All right, as soon as he comes back, we'll take that issue up.
And Your Honor,
Mhm.
is there a family violence prosecutor available?
Yes, if you go to the breakout room, they'll meet you there. Do you need to speak with the family violence?
Yeah, let me talk
prosecutor?
to him one time before I talk to him.
All right, Deputy Laura, hold off on bringing Mr. McGarity up.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
All
she
right,
knows-
and Ed Bartholomew, if you'll go back to breakout room number 11, please.
All right, thank you.
All right, and Deputy Laura, Mr. Lagish, after he signed the form, he can be excused.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Johnson
Morning.
is on the phone.
Judge,
Yes,
I've got to zoom into another court real quick. Can I come back online?
yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
You got your mask?
Yeah, right there.
Which attorney is in the courtroom?
Fernando Cortez, Your Honor.
Yes, who's your client, Mr. Cortez?
Alberto Trevino.
All right, let me just find him on the docket.
You want him to come up, Judge?
No, that's fine. All right, I'm gonna send you to a breakout room with one of the prosecutors. Is your client, is it family violence or criminal trial division?
I think it's criminal trial division, Judge, but I've already conferred multiple times. We're going to be insistent on a jury trial here.
Yes, but
Judge, it's family violence.
thank you. You need to still go to a breakout room because you all need to confer. Sorry, just one moment. You still need to go to a breakout room because you all need to confer on a trial date. Because as everyone knows, the trial dates have been suspended. So as soon as the family violence prosecutor is available, I'll have you confer with him. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you want to go to another courtroom, or if you have to go to another courtroom, you're more than welcome to do so.
I'll wait, Judge. Thank you.
All right. John Young?
Yes, madam. I am back and I have offers for both of my clients.
Okay. Who do you want first, Mr. Young?
Mr. Salinas.
And you're breakout room number 5. Is your client in custody or on bond?
He is on bond. I saw him on the screen earlier. I'm not sure whether he's there now or not.
All right, Mr. Salinas, where are you?
I'm right here, ma'am. Right here.
All right, Mr. Salinas, when you come back on the screen, you're going to have your video working. Mr. Salinas, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5 to speak with your attorney.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just tell me we're having trouble. I think they know that you're having trouble.
You need to go to number 5, Mr. Salinas.
Okay, so how do I do that?
If you can't work the system, Mr. Salinas, because I'm looking at my docket sheet and you've been here before. If you can't work that system, you're going to be required to appear in court.
Okay, ma'am.
So you need to go to breakout room number 5. Jocelyn Andrews, you're back.
Yes, Your Honor. Can I please be put in a breakout room with Jahagan Alexander?
Yes. If you'll go back to number 4, Mr. Alexander, you're going to number 4. Ernest Acevedo, who do you have?
Chase Gordon, Judge, he's in custody. If I could speak to him, please.
You say Chase Gordon?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
It's CTD. There's a misdemeanor family violence, but the felony is a CTD.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 15.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Mr. Gordon, if you could go to breakout room number 15, please.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Miguel Hernandez?
Yes, Your Honor. I've conferred with my client and conferred with the state. If I could talk to Mr. Sanders one more time before I give you a final answer.
All right. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 11.
Thank you, ma'am.
And Marcus Sanders will meet you there.
Your Honor, Mr. Salinas never got to the breakout room.
Yes, he is still working on getting there. I've informed him if he cannot make it to the breakout room, he's going to need to come downtown. So I think he logged out to log back in.
Okay. Could you
All right.
put Mr. Esparza with me then?
Mr. Esparza, is he on bond or in custody?
He is on bond. He said he was coming to the court this morning.
All right. Mr. Esparza, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 11. I'm sorry, number 5 in courtroom. If you could go to breakout room number 5, please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes. You're welcome. Shannon Locke.
Good morning, Your Honor. I've conferred with Marcus. He's given us a plea bargain. There are a number of new cases that were picked up, and I need to go through those and talk to Mr. Newkirk about the plea bargain. If I could just get a few week reset to do that, I think we'll be accepting a plea bargain in the case.
What are these new cases?
They're misdemeanor cases for theft and prostitution.
All right, Norma. Mr. Newkirk, where's Justin Newkirk?
He was here. I just spoke with him. He was in my breakout room.
All right, Norma, can you recall this for next week, please?
Yes, ma'am. I can do the 20th. Wait, I'm sorry. Judge. Sorry, next week. I can do the 13th.
All right, we'll see you back on August 13th.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Unless you have anything else with us, Mr. Locke, you're excused.
Thank you very much, Judge.
All right, have a great rest of your Friday.
You too.
Your Honor, Robert Gebbia here. May I
Yes.
be placed into a breakout room with Mr. Stephen Quintero, please? He is in
Yes.
custody.
Mr. Quintero, if you'll go to breakout room number 7, please, your attorney will meet you there. John Young, you're back?
I am back.
Yes.
Both my clients want jury trials, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Salinas needs to be here.
Yeah. I think that's him.
All right, you need to unmute yourself, Mr. Salinas, and you need to show your video. If you cannot do either of those things, then you're going to need to appear in the courtroom.
Okay, ma'am, I already know how the break room and everything.
Okay, we've already talked, so that's okay, but you need to come into the courtroom, Anthony.
Okay. All right, just give me a moment on that, Mr. Young.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Jocelyn Andrews.
Hi, Judge. We finally have an agreement, and I was getting ready to put it in the chat to Norma.
All right, thank you. Cornelius Cox.
Morning, Judge. Hold on, Chris.
Yes, hi, who do you have?
Ernest Keeler.
I hope you made your appointment yesterday.
I did. It doesn't, the pain is still here, but I got there in time. They took me late, so.
Oh, well, see,
I
at least on the good side, you didn't have to wait in the waiting room, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm being
glad they
Pollyanna
waited.
today. Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Family violence.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 16.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Christine Mcdonald.
Good morning, Judge. I apologize for coming in late. I was in the 437th.
Oh, we're here from 9 to 5, but I always tell people when they apologize for being late and it's because they were in another courtroom, does that mean that the 187th is not important, Cornelius? I don't know. No problem. We're here from 9 to 5. Who do you have?
Judge, I have Robert Mefford with family violence.
All right. Let me set you up here. I'm going to send you to number 17.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Miguel Hernandez.
Yes, Judge. Marcus has made another offer. I expressed it to my client. He has rejected it, and so I guess he just wants a trial, Judge.
All right, Mr. Munoz, where are you? Is your client still in the breakout room?
Maybe, Judge.
All right,
Judge,
if you
can I
could,
go to a room with Miguel real quick so we can pick a new trial date?
all right, I'll send you to breakout room number 1.
Thank you, Judge.
Miguel, if you'll go to 1.
Thank
And
you.
Norma, if you'll go to breakout room number 1, please. And John Young, I'm going to send you to 1 as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anita Garza.
Yes, Your Honor. Can I speak to the prosecutor real briefly?
All right. If you will wait right here, just give me a moment. Let me let Joe Ray know you're waiting for him.
And
So
Judge,
just-
I'm going to confer with him, but he's on full house arrest. I don't know what the court, like if you going to require me to file a motion to modify bond conditions.
Yes, unless there's an agreement, you'll
Right,
need to
so
file a
that's why-
motion.
Yeah, that's why I'm.
So let me talk with Joe Ray to let him know that you'll be waiting for him. And if you'll go back to your previous breakout room, and I'll let him know to meet you there, which is breakout room number 2.
I think my client's in there. Oh, I think he's come out. Okay, never mind. Yes, I'll go in there. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Ernest Acevedo.
Judge, I conferred with my client. I need to speak to the prosecutor. Last time I spoke with Marcus, I believe. I think he's
All
still.
right. Yes, if you'll just wait in the breakout room, Marcus will meet you there.
All right,
And
thank
I'll send you to breakout room number 18.
Thank you.
And Marcus, do you have a trial date for someone?
Yes, for Miguel, it's October 15th.
What's the client's name?
Eduardo Munoz.
And I'm sorry, give me the date one more time.
October 15th.
All right, as soon as Miguel comes out of the breakout room, we'll put that on the record.
I'm going to talk to Ernie real quick.
Okay, thank you. And Fernando, who were you conferring with on your case? You're on mute, Fernando.
Sorry, Judge, I think it's family violence.
All right, and give me your client's name again, please.
Alberto Trevino.
All right, I'm gonna send you to a breakout room. I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 19.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, John Young, did you get a chance to confer on trial dates?
Yes, we were given October 15.
All right, and October 15th, is that both for Salinas and Esparza?
It is. Yes.
Let me find their files, just one second. All right, is there a prosecutor in here for me, please?
Joe Ray was the one that I was dealing with.
Oh, I just need one so I can put these dates on the record.
I can.
All right, awesome. And is Jesse Esparza and Anthony Salinas in the courtroom?
Anthony Salinas.
Yes, ma'am. Right here.
You're Anthony Salinas?
Anthony Salinas.
All right, so if I could have Anthony Salinas and Mr. Esparza, just give me a second.
He is in the courtroom, Your Honor.
Brenda, are you okay with calling these two cases at the same time, or you want me to do them separately? Oh, you're muted. Okay, thank you. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 5977, State of Texas versus Anthony Salinas, and 2019 CR 12728, State of Texas versus Jesse Esparza. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the
John Young,
defense.
defense.
And are you Mr. Jesse Esparza?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you Mr. Anthony Salinas?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video. Any objection from the state?
No, Judge.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
The court will note for the record that Anthony Salinas is in the courtroom. But do you have any objections with us proceeding by video, Mr. Salinas?
No.
Okay. Any objections, Mr. Esparza?
No, ma'am.
Everyone is aware that these cases were set for trial today. However, the court is unable to proceed with trial as the jurors have been suspended in Bexar County. The state and the defense have conferred on a new trial date. That new trial date is October 15th. State, any objections to October 15th as the new trial date?
No, Judge.
Defense, any objection to October 15th as the new trial date?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Salinas, any objection to October 15th as the new trial date?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Esparza, any objection to October 15th as the new trial date?
No, ma'am.
Then both of you will need to appear in the courtroom on October 15th at 9 a.m. for jury trial. The courtroom is located at 300 De La Rosa. We're on the 4th floor. Mr. Anthony Salinas, what
Yes,
is your
ma'am.
trial date?
October the 15th at 9 o'clock.
And where do you need to be?
300, the little Rosa, the 4th floor, 187.
Thank you. Jesse Esparza, when is your trial date?
October 15th,
And where do you need to be?
4th floor, 187 on the courthouse,
What time?
9 o'clock, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Esparza, before we leave, we'll make sure that you receive a reset form. Mr. Young, have you received all the discovery in each of these cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then if there's nothing else, we'll close the record. And then Mr. Esparza and Mr. Salinas, you're excused. We'll see you on October 15th.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a great Friday.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Hey, Judge, when you have a moment.
All right, just give me one moment. Let me just find these two cases on the docket. All right, yes, Hunter?
Would you be able to join us in room 3 real quick?
Yes, I will meet you in room number 3.
Thank you.
Everyone, just be patient and remember we're live. All right, everyone, let me just check my email very quickly to see if it's come to me.
Judge, I sent you a chat whenever you get a chance to look at it.
Oh, you may need to resend that chat because I was actually in a breakout room. And when you send a chat and I'm in a breakout room.
I think I just resent it to you, so I don't know if it popped up or not.
All right, thank you. I will look at it right now. All right, yes, you can have them come back.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Everyone, I am presiding judge this week, so I have other duties other than just courtroom duties. So sometimes I'll be taking a break, and that's why I will be taking the break. All right, Warren Wolfe, Justin Rodriguez.
My client has accepted the generous offer from Mr. Garcia. So we need to put paperwork together. Are we going to do that today?
Yes, we will do that today. And you need to put your agreement in the chat box to Ms. Ferguson. Ernest Acevedo, please come in and have a seat.
Hello, Judge. I've
You can
conferred
go
with
back on the sofa. Yes.
I've conferred with Marcus and my client. I do need to have a motion to see if we could set a bond for him, Judge. He got taken into custody about 40 days ago because of a misdemeanor offense that was alleged to have happened in July of 2020. I've conferred with the prosecutor to see if they thought a bond would be reasonable in this case. I would request that we issue a bond of $35,000, which was the bond initially.
Have you filed a motion for the bond?
No, I wanted to talk to Marcus to see if they would agree, so I can get that filed now.
Okay, well, here's the thing. If it's not agreed to, I'll need a motion to be filed. I'm sorry?
It is agreed that we set up $35,000 bond with your approval.
All right, so then what needs to happen is you all need to send that to me in an email. And Mr. Acevedo, Marcus Sanders has my email address. And if you could put the agreed order in that email and I will sign it.
Okay.
All right, then the next thing is with regards to jury trial. Where are we on that? Does your client still want a jury trial?
He does, Judge. And so we were going over some dates. Marcus said there was a date available December 9th. I have an expert that we have to get in from out of town, so I wanted to have enough time that I could try to get the expert to make sure he's available.
Did y'all confer with Norma on that date?
No, just Marcus.
Not yet, Judge. I need to.
All right, I'm going to send you all to breakout room number 1. And let me see where you are to confer over that day with Norma, and then we'll put it on the record. And everyone, just give me 5 minutes, please. I have a matter I need to take up. And Mr. Acevedo, if you go to breakout room number 1, and Ms. Ferguson, if you could go to 1 and confer.
E3, your guy still needs to come out of the breakout room. I'll send you back to that room so you can move.
All right, sorry about that, everyone. Just one moment. Let me check my email.
Judge, while you're checking your email, does Blakely Moore Mab be excused?
Yes, and I did receive the blood order from you, and I'm printing that out now, and I will sign it.
Okay, and Steve's sending it to you with just the order because I sent it to you with the petition attached, so I apologize.
Oh, no problem.
All right,
Thank
you
you,
guys.
because my ink is very low.
Okay, thank you all. Warren, nice seeing you, man.
All right, Barry Hitchens, who do you have?
Lewis Watson, Your Honor. It's a carryover from earlier this week.
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
CTD Trial Division.
Okay,
The
I'm
drug
going to
case.
send you to breakout room number 20.
Okay.
Anita Garza, what is happening with Mr. Hagerling?
So we have not been able to come to any kind of an agreement with me and the prosecutor. I do
Who's
need
the prosecutor?
Joe Ray Garcia.
Okay.
There's a recommendation and he's not willing to follow the recommendation for probation, but I was telling him I literally just pulled, they're new number ones that are triggering the MTR. I need more time to review those with my client. I'm not ready to go forward on an MTR, Your Honor, today. He is on bond. He's on house arrest. There was no agreement. On the
This
bond.
has been set since.
Well, it was, our first setting was 2 days ago and we just got the mental health.
All right, just give me one moment. All right, Ernest Acevedo, did y'all come to an agreement on a jury trial date?
Yes, Judge, the December 9th date works for the court, the prosecutor, and myself.
All right, I'm gonna put that on the record. Where's Mr. Gordon? Is he still in a breakout room?
No, he's there on screen, 187 Gordon.
All right, Mr. Gordon, there you are. All right, we're just gonna put the date on the record. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 2543, State of Texas versus Gordon Chase. Could I have the parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Ernest Acevedo, and the third for Mr. Chase Gordon.
And are you Mr. Gordon?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Gordon, any objections to us proceeding by video?
No, ma'am.
All right, this was scheduled for a jury trial. However, juries have been suspended in Bexar County. Have both the defense and the state had a chance to confer on a new jury trial date?
Yes, Judge.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
And it's my understanding is that both parties are agreed to December 9th, 2021 as a jury trial date. State, any objections to December 9th as the jury trial date?
No objection.
Defense, any objections to December 9th as the jury trial date?
No objections.
Mr. Garden, do you have any objections to December 9th as the jury trial date?
No, ma'am.
All right, defense, have you received all the discovery in this case?
I believe we have.
All right, state, the court does not have a copy of an acknowledgement of discovery in its file. Will you be able to have that to the court by August 20th?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Mr. Chase, what will end up happening is you will be brought over to the 187 District Court dressed for trial on December 9th. At that time, jury selection will start. So if you are bonded out of jail, your jury trial date is December 9th, 2021 at 9 a.m. in the 187th District Court. It's located at 300 De La Rosa on the 4th floor. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So when is your jury trial date?
December 9th, 2021.
What time
9 a.m.
and where?
4th floor, 300 De La Rosa,
Which court?
187.
All right, if there's nothing else from either party, then we'll close the record.
Judge, there's just the issue of the bond, but you said to address that by just sending an agreed order to your email and to all the parties.
Yes, and once that is sent to the court will sign that motion. I do not leave court until all motions that are presented to me have been signed and ones that are not agreed to have been set. So that will be taken care of today.
All right. Thank you very much, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. Norma, can you let them know that 17D can go back?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Acevedo, I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you very much, Judge.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
I agree. It's been a rough working this week. But thank you.
You're welcome. And if you need anything, just let us know.
Will do. Appreciate that.
All right, the next person up is Roland Garcia. You're on mute, Roland. Okay, while he's, I was just gonna move on and say while he's taking care of that. All right, Brandon Garza. What is happening, Mr. Garcia? Okay, I believe we have a problem. Warren Wolfe.
Judge, we're in the process of preparing paperwork.
All right, thank you. Bobby Barrera.
Your Honor, good morning. We're waiting potentially on a phone call back from the complainant to see whether we have an agreement or not. I'm going to stand by a few minutes with the court's consent, and if Hunter gets back in with a phone call, we'll have a decision shortly, whether we need to stay on trial docket or not.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Judge, just to further clarify, I've spoken with this complainant and believe we may have an agreement. I'm just following up with him to make sure we're on the same page.
All right, thank you. Bobby Gibbia.
Hello, Judge. My client has requested that we proceed forward to a jury trial setting, Your Honor.
Okay.
I will need to confer with Joe Ray Garcia about dates if that's necessary, but we would just like the first available date, Judge.
Yes, that will be necessary. Let me go to breakout room number 13 where he is. And Mr. Tellerico, unless those shades are for vision, you need to take those off. I don't know why why do I have to tell people the rules of the court? Is your client vision impaired, Mr. Barrera?
I'm not aware that he is, but I haven't met with him recently, Your Honor. But in that regard, if you could put us both in a chat room, that would be great, so I can let him know what may be coming.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 7.
Can you hear me?
You need to go to breakout room number 7, Mr. Tellerico.
All right. All right, thank you.
Judge, you were going to put me in 13, I believe you said. My prompt says 7.
All right, Bobby, Joe Ray will be right with us and he'll go to breakout room number 1. And Roland Garcia, are you able to?
The state has conveyed a new offer. I need to convey it to my client and see what he wants to do, Judge.
Okay, let me see what breakout you were in number 10. If you'll go back to 10 I see your client, Mr. Garza. I'm going to send you to number 10 to meet with your attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
You're welcome. All right, Anita Garza on Mr. Hagelin.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so what are you needing that you are not in receipt of?
Like I said earlier, I literally just requested the discovery. We've been waiting for the mental health stuff. We just got that report. I didn't really get into the facts, you know what I mean? They're asking for revocation. At this point, we don't have an agreement. So I really just need to really look at the new number ones, discuss that with my client, and I just would request a little bit of time. So I apologize.
Norma, on Kevin Hagerling,
Yes, ma'am.
I need a contested hearing date, please.
Yes, ma'am. Let me look at the calendar real quick.
Thank you. And if it's not contested, just let us know, but we're going to set it for a contested hearing.
Yeah, that's fine, Your Honor.
Mr. Hagerling, I need you to show your video. And you need to find a place that's stationary.
He keeps moving. I know, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. I have a bad signal here and we don't have Wi-Fi, so I kind of have to move around because I'll end up getting kicked out of the Zoom.
Okay.
I can do the 19th or the 20th, Judge.
19th or 20th.
Of August?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Give me a second. Let me look. Wait. The 19th, Your Honor.
And it'll be in the afternoon
What time, Norma? At 1:30?
at 2 o'clock.
Okay. And as far as the GPS partial, Your Honor, obviously he won't be allowed to work, but he'll be able to go to First Center for Healthcare Services. Or does he have to ask special permission for that?
You'll have to file a motion because the court is not in receipt of any motion. Have you conferred with the state on the GPS?
Yes, Your Honor, but I'm asking not for him to work, for him to go to the Center for Healthcare Services.
Have you conferred with the state on that?
They said that it should already be part of the GPS. And so that's why I just wanted clarification, or if I do have to file, because that's the understand. I mean, my understanding is that we would ask for GPS partial for them to work, but not to be able to go to the hospital and get services. And I don't know if that's
Last motion that I had was on July 14th, and he was to be on full GPS and no contact with Myrma Alcantara. There have been no other motions or no other requests for amendment of those motions. If there is an agreed order, because I'm unaware if your client has mental health appointments that he needs to go to, I don't have any of those facts before me. The only thing I have before me is the motion to revoke with the new allegations, which Mr. Hagerling, I'm not taking those allegations as true because I don't have any information. So everyone is telling me about health issues, but Mr. Cox, you need to take off your cap.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. And I was.
No problem. It's like, I don't have any, everyone is saying he has doctor's appointments. Nobody has given me any information of the fact that he has doctor's appointments. So somebody needs to send me an order. And if there's a request for him to go to his doctor's appointment, I'm reasonable, I will approve it. But I can't just blanketly agree to him doing certain things on GPS when I have no notice of anything. So that's where we are. So if he has a doctor's appointment, then somebody needs to send me an order that asks whether or not he can be approved to go to doctor's appointments, because I don't have any of that. All I have is somebody who's on probation. And again, Mr. Hagerling, I'm not taking it as true, but I have someone who's on probation for assault, family choking, or strangulation. And he's alleged to have committed a continuous violence against family. So allegedly, that new offense is a violent offense, and he's on probation for a violent offense. So I need someone, If it's agreed to, send me agreed order saying that he can go to a doctor's appointment. But I need someone to give me some kind of proof that he has a doctor's appointment and that's where he's going. And of course, I'm not going to stop anybody from seeing whatever mental health provider they are to see, any doctor that they need to see, but I need information to that effect. So Norma, when is the contested hearing set?
8/19.
All right, so Mr. Hagerling, we'll see you on August 19th at 2 p.m. You'll need to be in the courtroom. Do you understand, Mr. Hagerling?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so the court is located at 300 De La Rosa. It's on the 4th floor, the 187 District Court, and you need to be here at 2 p.m. on August 19th. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. 300 De La Rosa, 2 p.m., August the 19th, 4th floor.
All right, I'll see you then. And Mr. Hagerling, once the court receives that motion, of course, as I said before, I'm reasonable. We will make it happen, but I need to receive some sort of motion, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. May I say something?
Do you want to speak to your attorney before you say something? Because usually attorneys like for clients to speak with them before they say something.
It was just about Center for Healthcare because I was asked me to go, but just to get there early so I could get in the door. I think that's what she meant about the DPS partial.
And that's where I was confused, Your Honor. And I don't want to have to file something if I don't have to. Does that make sense? I just wanted clarification if they'll allow him to go, you know? But I think
that's what I'm saying. I don't have anything saying that.
But it sounds like he's already going. He just has to go earlier. So. Okay.
Yes. All right. There's nothing else. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Maybe excuse.
You're welcome. Yes,
Okay.
you may be excused.
Approach.
Just one moment. All right, Bobby Gebbia, did you get a court date?
Bill Ray and I both agreed for the earliest available setting, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can we get an early trial date for Mr. Quintero, please?
I can do September. September 14th. Is the next one that's available, Judge.
All right, September 14th, okay with you, Mr. Gebbia?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
All right, we're going to put this on the record just briefly. Is your client in custody or on bond?
He's in custody, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Quintero, we're going to go on the record. Is there any prosecutor who's available at this time? Let me see if they're all in breakout.
Judge?
Awesome. Thank you, Hunter. We're just going to put the trial date on the record. Oh, I did Bobby Barrera instead of Bobby. Yeah. I'm like, Bobby, where did you go? All right.
I'm sorry, Judge, did you call me?
Oh, no, I put the wrong Bobby in the spotlight. There are two Bobbies on the screen, but Robert is doing about Robert today.
Saving the best for last?
Okay. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 7283, 2020 CR 6549, and 2020 CR 6548, State of Texas versus Stephen Ray Quintero. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
For
the defense?
Robert Gebbia.
And are you Mr. Quintero? I need you to unmute for me, please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state?
No, Judge.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Quintero, do you have any objections to us proceeding by video?
No, ma'am.
All right. This is scheduled for jury trial today. However, courts and jury trials have been suspended in Bexar County. So there cannot be a jury trial today. State defense, have you had a chance to confer on a new jury trial date?
Yes, we have, Your Honor.
And it's my understanding that both parties have agreed to September 14th as a new jury trial date. Any objections to that date, state?
No, Judge.
Any objections, defense?
No.
Mr. Quintero, do you have any objection to September 14th as a jury trial date?
No, ma'am.
All right. Defense, have you received all the discovery in all of these cases?
I have, Judge, and we've executed a discovery acknowledgement.
All right, Mr. Quintero, your jury trial will be scheduled for September 14th. One second. If there are juries available at that time, and if the suspension has been lifted, what will happen is on September 14th, you will be brought to the 187 District Court dressed. If, however, you are able to make bond, then you need to be in the 187 District Court dressed for trial on September 14th at 9 a.m. We're located at 300 De La Rosa, 4th floor. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So when is your trial date?
September the 14th. September.
What time?
At 9 a.m.
Which court?
187.
All right. If there's nothing else, then the record will be closed. Anything else from the state?
Nothing, Judge.
Anything else from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then we will close the record. Mr. Quintero, some things are beyond the court's control because of the virus. Trials have been suspended, but we will try to get you your jury trial as soon as possible, okay? All right, thank you for your patience. Mr. Garcia, do you need to speak with your client anymore?
I'm happy to. And we could go to a breakout room and then we could leave from there if that's okay, Your Honor.
Well, if you will bring him back to the main room after you finish speaking with him, because we'll need to excuse him from this room.
Understood. Understood.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Quintero, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5 with your attorney. All right, Mr. White.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor, the state has agreed to dismiss the case of Willie Jackson, so I just wanted to be excused.
All right, you will be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
And
All right, and everyone else, I'm just going to check my email to see if anything has come in.
Your Honor, this is Roland Garcia. May I report a status?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm here for Brandon Garza. I've conferred with the state, with Joe Ray. He's conveyed a new offer to me. My client would like a short amount of time to discuss the options with his family. And so I'm asking if we can recall this case the week of the 16th.
Where is Mr. Garza?
He may still be in the breakout room, but he was here.
All right, if you can go back to the breakout room and have him come to the main room, please.
Okay.
And Judge, it looks like Mr. Quintero hasn't gone to the breakout room with Bobby.
All right, Mr. Quintero, you need to go to breakout room number 5.
Ain't nothing popping up on my screen though.
No, look at the bottom of your screen. Do you see where it says participants?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see where it says chat? Do you see where it says breakout room?
Yes.
Click on breakout room and it should show you where you can go to number 5. All right, Robert Gibbia, your client is now in room number 5.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, this is Mike Hernandez. We also have a setting that we agreed to.
Your client?
Eduardo Munoz.
All right, just give me one moment on that. On Brandon Garza, Norma, can you recall this for the week of the 16th, please?
Yes, ma'am. I can do the 18th, 19th, or the 20th, Judge, whichever Roland is available.
Can we do the 18th? The Wednesday?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Garza, that's going to be your new plea deadline date since the state made a new offer. After that, the court will not accept any plea bargaining agreements. So whomever you need to speak to, you need to speak to before then. You understand?
I totally understand. Thank you very much, ma'am.
All right, you're welcome. Have a great rest of your day.
You
See you
too.
back on
Thank you.
August 18th.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You have a great weekend, everyone. Have a good.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye. Miguel, on Edward Munoz, did you confer with the state and Ms. Ferguson on a new trial date?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
And
It
what
was
date is that?
October 15th, Your Honor.
All right, where is your client? Munoz, he's in custody?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there a prosecutor available to put this on the record, please?
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 7560, 2019 CR 10161, and 2019 CR 11033B, State of Texas versus Eduardo Munoz. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the defense?
Miguel Hernandez for the defense.
All right, and are you Mr. Munoz?
Yes, ma'am.
You're proceeding by video. Any objection from the state?
No, Judge.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Munoz, do you have any objection with this proceeding by video?
No, ma'am.
All right, this was scheduled for a jury trial today. However, jury trials have been suspended. So my understanding, both parties have had a chance to confer on a new trial date. Is that correct, State?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, defense, any objections to October 15th as the new jury trial date?
No, Your Honor.
State, any objections to October 15th as the new jury trial date?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Munoz, do you have any objections to October 15th as the new jury trial date?
No, ma'am.
All right, your new jury trial date will be October 15th. It will be in the 187th District Court. You need to be here at 9 a.m. It's 300 De La Rosa. If you are in custody, you will be brought from the Bexar County Jail dressed for trial. However, if you make bond, you must appear in court on October 15th at 9 a.m., 187th District Court, 300 De La Rosa on the 4th floor. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So when is your court date?
October 15th,
What time
9 a.m.,
and what court?
187, ma'am.
All right, thank you. We'll close the record unless there's anything else from either party.
No, Your Honor.
All right, then, Norma, can you let them know Mr. Munoz can go back? Mr. Munoz, there will be no further plea bargain agreements accepted by the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, you too, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes,
Yes, Judge, I will let them know.
thank you. All right, everyone, just give me a moment, please.
Judge, just so you know, I'm done.
Yes, Mr. Quintero,
Yes, ma'am.
they should be taking you back shortly, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
All right, Fernando, did you have a chance to speak with someone from family violence?
Yes, Judge, and we agreed on a date of September 30th.
All right, just give me one moment. We'll put that on the record. All right, is Mr. Trevino in the courtroom?
He is, Your Honor, and I stepped out because I'm on the phone. I get a weird echo, but he's in the courtroom, Judge.
Want to come in the courtroom, Mr. Fernando, because we're picking up a lot of static and you can just do the hearing from our courtroom?
I'm on my way, Judge.
All right, thank you. Joe Ray, are you available to put this on the record?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. And what date was it again, Joe Ray?
September 30th.
Okay.
We didn't talk to Norma about it, but if that's available, we agreed on it.
Norma, is September 30th okay?
Yes, ma'am. That's fine.
All right, thanks. And has everyone checked to see if they received their paperwork?
We're checking this right now.
And Joe Ray, while we're waiting for Fernando, Michael White told me that his case was dismissed.
Yes, I'll be sending this.
All right, thank you. All right, we are on the record then. Court is calling 2021 CR 0149, State of Texas versus Alberto Trevino. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Joe Ray Garcia.
For the defense?
Fernando Cortez.
And are you Mr. Alberto Trevino?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video, but I'll note for the record that the defense attorney and his client are in the courtroom. Any objections to us proceeding by video, state?
No, Your Honor.
No,
Defense,
Your Honor.
any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Trevino, any objection?
No, ma'am.
All right, this case was scheduled for jury trial today. However, jury trials have been suspended in Bexar County. It's the court's understanding that a new trial date has been agreed upon by the state and the defense, and then that new trial date is September 30th. Any objections to that date, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any objections to that new trial date?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Trevino, do you have any objections to that new date?
No, ma'am.
All right, then your trial date, if juries are allowed, will be September 30th at 9 a.m. Obviously, you know where the 187 District Court is because you're here now, but it'll be September 30th at 9 a.m. in the 187 District Court, 300 De La Rosa, 4th floor. Do you understand, Mr. Trevino?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so when is your court date?
September 30th, this exact same room.
All right, Mr. Trevino, if there's nothing else from either the state or defense, we'll close the record and we will have a reset form for you to sign. Is there anything else from either party?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, everyone, thanks for your patience.
Judge, was Kevin Hangerly, was the MTR, was that set for a contested?
Yes, it's set for a contested, but if it's set for a contested on August 19th, but it may not end up being a contested.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Joe Ray, just let me know if you need the officer.
I will. And there's some new number ones, so it'll be a longer one, if it is.
Okay.
All right. And so everybody else, have you received any paperwork or are you still waiting on paperwork?
May I approach on Mr. Talarico?
Yes.
Hunter and I are texting. We haven't received a phone call back confirmation yet. May we be recalled maybe next week or the following week to see whether we can get this worked out and get off your docket?
Okay. Well, let's give it a little time. I mean, let's at least wait a little bit, Mr. Barrera.
May I do this? I've got a death in the family. We're making arrangements.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
My father-in-law, Judge.
I'm sorry.
I can call back in.
Yes, I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Barrera. The court had no idea that was the case.
I understand, Judge, and I didn't want to make a point of it, but I'm happy to call back in if Hunter calls me and we have an agreement. I'll call back in with Norma and maybe we can get on and get taken care of today, maybe.
Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll reschedule it for next week. And
Okay,
if
Judge.
something happens and you want to Zoom back in, we're here from 9 to 5.
Judge, I appreciate the court's consideration very much. Do I stand by for my reset or will Norma just email me?
No, she's going to give me a date right now. Norma, can you recall this for next week for possible disposition?
Yes, I can do, let me see, it can be
Any day but Tuesday. I'm in Del Rio in federal court on Tuesday.
See, Brenda, he just said Del Rio is more important.
I can do the 11th.
The
The
judge
12th?
thinks she's more important, believe you me. The 11th is good, Judge.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you back on 11. Brenda, people always mess up when they say, I have to be in another court. I'm like, who are we? And I would say chopped liver, but I love chopped liver, so I can't say, who are we, chopped liver?
Actually, I'd rather be in federal custody than in the Bexar County Courthouse, Judge. They have better food in the federal custody, but I appreciate the court's consideration. I'll see you all on Wednesday, the 11th. And may Mr. Talarico also be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, and Mr. Barrera, next time if you can talk to him about his eyesight.
I will, Judge. I think he thought his future was so bright, he needed sunglasses, Judge. That's,
Okay, see, Bobby, here's the problem. There are so many people young people on this Zoom, they don't even know what we're talking about.
That's reserved for us mature people.
Yeah, because some people wear their sunglasses at night. Corey Hart.
Okay, Judge.
All right,
Thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate the
you.
court's
Bye-bye.
consideration. Bye-bye.
James Andrews.
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
I have Mr. Gonzalez, David Gonzalez, and I conferred with Joe Ray. We're still at a standstill based on the information that we have in front of us. So I believe that we'd like to stay on the trial docket. He
All right,
is
so-
in court.
All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1 with Miss Ferguson and Joe Ray so we can get a trial date.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
may I inquire of Joe Ray? I think he was working on our paperwork for Mr. Alexander, and I haven't seen it yet.
All right, just give me 1 second. He's in breakout room number 1 conferring on a trial date. And when he comes back, we'll find out where that is.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge, this is James Anders, when you have a second.
Yes.
The court date has been set, well, proposed at September 14th.
All right, we're going to put that on the record. And your client is in the courtroom?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and Joe Ray, after this, I know you're busy. Jocelyn Andrews says she's working on paperwork.
Yeah, I'm getting that together right now, Judge.
All right, so let's do this. Hunter or Meredith, are you available to put this jury trial date on the record?
Yes,
While
Judge.
Joe Ray does paperwork. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
thanks.
The court is calling 2020 CR 5722, State of Texas versus David Lee Gonzalez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hunter Morris.
For the defense?
James Anders for the defense.
All right, and are you Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video, but the court will note for the record that the defendant is in the courtroom. Any objections to us proceeding by video, state?
No, Judge.
Defense?
No, Judge.
We were scheduled for jury trial today. However, jury trials in Bexar County have been suspended. It's my understanding that both the state and the defense have conferred on a new jury trial date. That new date is September 14th, 2021. Any objections from the state?
No, Judge.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Judge.
Mr. Gonzalez, do you have any objections to September 14th as a jury trial date?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then, Mr. Gonzalez, obviously you know where the courtroom is located because you're in the courtroom. Your new trial date will be September 14th at 9 a.m., 187 District Court, 4th floor, 300 De La Rosa. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So when is your next court date?
September 14, 2021,
What time?
9 a.m.
All right, then with that, if there's nothing else, we'll close the record. All right.
Thank you,
And
Judge.
Mr. Gonzalez, thank you so much for dressing for trial. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And he can be excused, correct, Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you,
and
Judge.
James, if you can make sure you email Joe Ray, because the court doesn't have an acknowledgement of discovery in the court's file. So if you can just email him to make sure that you all sign that and send that to the court.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. You're excused. Thank you for your patience.
Yes, ma'am.
Christine Mcdonald.
Judge, I've conferred with my client. If I can talk to Mr. Joe Ray Garcia one more time.
Okay, let me see where Joe Ray is. All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3, and Joe Ray will meet you in breakout room number 3.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Barry Hitchens, you're back.
Back, Your Honor. If I could be put into a breakout room with Meredith McIntyre, I think we're pretty close.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5, and Meredith will meet you there.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, and Norma, there are a couple of attorneys that are not here. I'm going to put it in the chat box to you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Barry Hitchens, do you need to go back and speak with your client?
Yeah, I can, but we've got an agreement. Meredith is working up the DA's paperwork. If the coordinator would do the consent to the Zoom and the other documents.
I just chatted Norma, the deal.
Okay, then your client will be in breakout room number 5.
Okay, I'll join him there and be waiting for the paperwork.
All right. And Warren Wolfe, the prosecutor is working on your paperwork as well.
And Judge, can I see you in a breakout room?
Yes, everyone, please give me a moment. I'll meet you in breakout room number All right, the person who's listed under the name of Helen, what is your name? Yes, could you unmute for me?
Charles Ruiz.
Who is your attorney?
Paul Goki.
All right, we're just waiting. You may want to call Mr. Goki. We're waiting for him to appear, okay?
He told me that he was subpoenaed for court today. He called me last night. He said his office was supposed to send you a message and stuff like that.
Okay, I haven't received anything. We will check to see what is happening with that, but we haven't received any notification. So just give us a moment, okay? Yes, Mr. Cox, what is happening with Mr. Teeler, and where is Mr. Teeler?
Oh, he's in the courtroom, Judge. I was in the breakout room and nobody ever came, so I came down to the courthouse to see if I can find out where the breakout room is.
Well, I mean, everybody has to have patience in their pocket. And I'm always amazed by the guys because you all have your pants pocket. And I know that there's a hidden pocket in every suit coat jacket because I have two brothers. So, you're not pulling it out and using it.
I kept pulling out. I went to this pocket, that pocket. I went to every pocket. When I ran out of pockets, that's why I came down.
But you didn't put anything in the chat asking to borrow any.
Oh, I don't know. That was that mean, that little chat. I didn't know what that was for. I'm a dinosaur, Judge. But I'm here, and if someone would from family violence, I hope it's family justice today, that
it's always justice here in the 187, but I will send you to a breakout room with
Yes,
Joe
ma'am.
Ray.
All right.
Joe Ray, Cornelius Cox is in the courtroom. I'm going to send him to breakout room number 2. He says he's looking for justice.
Okay. Wrong place.
I sent you to number 2.
Oh, this one?
And Norma, on Charles Ruiz, he said that his attorney has been subpoenaed to appear somewhere.
Okay, I'll check my emails right now, Judge. Let me see if I
All right,
received-
thank you. So everyone, please continue to use your patience. Remember, it's Friday. Yes, Christine.
Hello, Judge. If I can go into a breakout room with my client again, I think might be in a room already.
Yes, he is in breakout room number 5. I will send you there. What previous room were you in?
I don't remember. 3.
See how difficult this is, people? Okay, I'm going to send you to number 5.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge, Mr. Inmate Alexander hasn't signed his court documents yet. So you can
All
let
right.
Jocelyn know.
Jocelyn, if you could go to breakout room number 3 with your client so he can sign the documents.
Okay, Judge.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Alexander, if you'll go to breakout room number 3, please.
Approach, Judge.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. My client's here. You need him up to the front. He's in the courtroom, Judge.
Yes, what are we doing with your case?
We. I'm sorry, Judge. Right here. We like the trial date, Judge.
All right, did you confer with the state on a new trial date?
I confer with him, Judge.
On a new trial date?
On a new trial date. In earnest.
So what's the new trial date?
9/14.
Your client's ready.
All right, so we're gonna go on the record. Just 1 second. Court is calling 2019 CR 7911, State of Texas versus Ernest Taylor. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Joe Garcia.
For the defense?
Cornelius Cox.
All right, and are you Mr. Taylor?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video. The court will note for the record that the defendant and the defense attorney are in the courtroom. Any objections to us proceeding by video, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Taylor, do you have any objections to us proceeding by video?
No, ma'am.
All right, this was scheduled for jury trial today. However, jury trials have been suspended in Bexar County due to the pandemic. My understanding, both the state and the defense have had an opportunity to confer on a new trial date, and that new trial date will be September 14th at 9 a.m. Any objections to that as the new trial date, state?
No objections, Your Honor.
Any objections, defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Taylor, do you have any objections to that new trial date?
No, ma'am.
Defense, have you received all the discovery in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state, if I could have an acknowledgement of discovery by August 20th.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, thank you. All right, then, Mr. Taylor, obviously you know where the courtroom is because you're here in the courtroom today. Your new trial date is September 14th at 9 a.m. in the 187th District Court on the 4th floor, 300 De La Rosa. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so what date is your new court date?
September 14th at 9 a.m. on the 4th floor, 300 De La Rosa, 187th court.
Okay, that is the first person, Brenda, who has repeated everything exactly the way it was said. Thank you, Mr. Taylor. So that will be your court date. They're going to give you a reset form. And thank you so much for dressing appropriately for trial.
Thank you. I'll apologize. I didn't get to get a haircut yesterday.
Well, you know, Cornelius Cox always has a haircut.
That's true, bro. It's not much to cut these days.
Oh, in my family, some have none to cut. So
Well, I appreciate it, Judge. I appreciate it.
all right. Thank you all so much, and thank you for your patience.
All right, thank
Have a
you.
good Friday.
All right.
All right, to the clerks, you should be receiving paperwork on Jahagan Alexander.
Judge, for Jahagan, do we already have the discovery acknowledgement?
Let me check. No, it's not in the court's
No? Okay.
file.
I'll send it.
All right, thank you.
The plea paperwork has been sent already.
All right, thank you. And if you have that already that's done, you can just email it to me and I'll print it out.
Okay.
And to the clerks, if you could go to breakout room number 3, please, to swear in Mr. Jahagan. Thank you. And Norma, do you know if Brent De La Paz is going to be here to discuss Roma Lane McKay?
No, Judge, give me 1 second.
Or if not, if I could just have somebody from pretrial services to zoom in.
Yes, ma'am. Can you put the SID number in the chat, Judge? And I can call Brent De La Paz, Judge, as well.
Okay, thank you. And those can go back. And everyone, just give me a moment, please. All right, Mr. Ruiz, we're trying to locate your attorney.
Okay, ma'am.
All right, Warren Wolfe, have you received paperwork? Has it come your way?
Trying to unmute. I've received some paperwork. I haven't received the STIPs yet.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't realize he accepted the offer. I'll start.
Put
that
it in
now.
I sent you an email and I put it
Okay.
in the chat.
All right, Mr.
I
Wolfe.
received the paperwork from Norma and it's been signed by my client.
All right, so Mr. Wolfe, I'm going to send you and your client to breakout room number 2, and Joe Ray Garcia will send paperwork to you and your client. And I'm assuming Joe Ray has your client's email address.
I sent it in the email to him with the link to the CC with my client's email on it.
Okay, and then Barry Hitchens. I'm sorry. Yes, Joe Ray.
Yeah, sorry, there's no one CC'd.
I'll send it again.
Okay.
All right. And Barry Hitchens on Mr. Watson, what's happening?
I've signed all the paperwork. If I could be put in a breakout room with my client at the jail, see if he's having any trouble.
All right, I sent you to breakout room number 4 with your client.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Hey, Marcus, did you get my text message?
Marcus, I don't know if he's there. He's on mute. Mr. Ruiz, do you know which court your attorney has been subpoenaed to appear before?
No, ma'am, I'm not aware of any of that. He just called me last night around 10.
Oh, no, I don't want to get too far. I'm just trying to figure out where he is so we can get him here.
Yeah, he just told me that he was going to be subpoenaed. He was subpoenaed late and it was going to be the same time that this court started, so.
Okay, all right, we're going to see if we can find him.
Okay.
Thank you for your patience.
Thank you.
Judge, is that the 196 case?
Yes.
I don't recall seeing any of them hop in. Let me see if I can get one of them in here.
All right, thank you. All right, Christine Mcdonald on Mefford.
Yes, Judge. I've sent a chat to Norma and the court clerk. We have an agreement, and we're just waiting on paperwork.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Christy, can you check me your defendant's email address, please?
Yes.
Thank you. And Judge, I haven't received an email from Gopi. I've been looking through all my emails.
All right, thank you.
And I did send an email or a text message to the PR bond people to see who I can get in.
All right, thank you. And on this one, it's Tatlow.
Okay, thank you.
And he is here. And I didn't even say his name 3 times, Brenna. Hi, Mr. Tatlow.
Well, hello, ma'am. Long time no see.
Yes. And I was telling Brenna, I didn't even say your name 3 times. And you appeared like the first time I said your name, and then bam, you appear.
Yes, my boss just messaged me. She's like, hey, I need you to get on. She sent me the link. I was like, all right, I'm on.
Oh, awesome. Listen, I wanted to speak to you about Bromelaye McKay.
Yeah.
All right. So, of course, you know, they've removed the GPS, and I understand why they had to remove the GPS. Yes, but I just want the GPS placed back on them when they are released from the hospital. Is there any way for us to coordinate that to make sure that's done?
Yeah, we they said they would let me know, and then I always since he's been in, I've been checking every day to make sure he's there.
Okay, awesome. So I just wanted to let you know that's what I'm going to do on that one. So
Okay.
I'm just going to say allow removal for GPS, and then once he's released, the GPS will be placed on. And I don't know if he was on full GPS or not, because that's not on here.
Yeah, he's on full.
All right. So what I will allow for then is partial GPS, and that will be for medical reasons only.
The hospital did inform me that there's still bullet fragments in him, and then they're closer to the spine. So that's the only reason why they don't want the GPS on. So if they move, it could paralyze him. Even if he makes some kind of movement in the bed, he's like he ultimately he may end up paralyzed.
So do we even think that he needs a GPS?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out if he's at a barbecue at his house, because when the night it happened, the on-call officer called the parent and the grandmother. The grandmother said they were having a barbecue, and then teenagers walked up and started shooting him. So I don't understand like what happened when he was at a barbecue at his house.
And you know, I always warn people that when they're on full GPS, they can't even step outside for a barbecue.
Yeah.
Like if
That'll
somebody
be-
has a plate, they need to take that plate in the house.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'll do is, if you could find out for me what his condition is, because of course I don't want him, if the GPS is gonna cause bullet fragments to move around and potentially result in him being paralyzed,
Yes, ma'am.
then we may not need the GPS. Joe Ray, this is your case.
Well, when I spoke to the doctor yesterday, they said that that's the only reason why they wrote on that statement, no metal monitoring device at this time because of that that could occur.
All right, so what we'll do, I'll order GPS then, and the GPS is to be placed back on him once he's allowed to by medical.
Okay.
Joe Ray, can you make sure that the complainant knows that he's not going to be on GPS?
Yes, Judge. And I'm sorry, can I get the cause number for this one?
Well, let me give you the SID because he has two cases. It's 114-5886. It's Ramalay McKay.
Judge, and from my understanding, he's not even responsive at this moment.
Yeah. So he's been shot.
Yeah.
He has bullet fragments near the spine, and they say that if they put the GPS monitor on him, that may make the bullets travel some sort of way and paralyze him. So I'll just say I'll allow removal of GPS, and GPS is not to be placed upon him until approved by medical doctors or medical personnel, because I don't want you all to have an issue.
Yeah, because we asked him if we can put a device on him, and they're like, no, because if he moves or whatever happens, they're gonna rush him back into the OR, and they're just gonna cut it right back off. So that's why we're requesting to have to see what you wanted to do.
Yes, so we'll do that. We'll say GPS won't be replaced until approved by medical experts. And then what I'll do, and once he's released from the hospital, if he is mobile and able to be on the phone, then I will just make sure that he calls in to pretrial services at least once a day, even if it's just leaving a message.
Yes, ma'am, that sounds good.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
All right, have a good Friday. It's Friday. Everyone should be smiling, right?
Oh yes. Well, it's Meet the Teacher Day for everybody. So for the kids going back to school.
Oh, wow. Well, you know, I start back teaching as well. So thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. So we're ready on Jahagan Alexander. Joray, are you able to take this, or are you working on other paperwork?
I can take it at the same time. Judge.
All right, because if you want to, I can see if another prosecutor can take the plea.
I can do it. I just have work. Marcus is helping me out on another one.
Okay. All right.
Joe Ray. And Judge, before we get started, Joe Ray, I didn't see the TIC of the misdemeanor. Oh, did we lose Joe Ray?
No, he's here.
I'm still here. Yeah, that's correct. If it's not on there, I forgot to put it.
All right, what's the misdemeanor case? And if if nobody has a problem, I'll just add it. What's the case number?
653091. And it is a criminal trespass, I believe. It is.
Okay. All right. And Joe Ray, you sure you don't want someone to stand in?
Yeah, that's fine. If Hunter can or anyone else.
Okay,
Thanks.
sure, no problem. All right, court is calling 2021 CR 0151, State of Texas versus Jahagan Alexander. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hunter Morris.
For the defense?
Jocelyn Andrews.
And are you Mr. Alexander?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state?
None, Judge.
Any objections from the defense?
No, no objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Alexander, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review that discovery with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Alexander, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, it appears that you are proceeding on assault, family choking, strangulation as a second offense. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge, and I believe waiving the repeat enhancement.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
And therefore, the state is proceeding on count one only.
Correct, Judge.
Right. And waiving count two as well. Any objections to the waiver of count two defense?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Alexander, I'm showing you what's entitled Court's Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? And did you electronically sign them in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of assault, family choking, strangulation, second offense? That is a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand?
Your Honor,
Yes.
for the record, isn't assault, family violence second a third-degree felony? I think it was
No.
a second because it was enhanced.
Yes, he's proceeding on assault, family choking, strangulation as a second offense. So in count one, it has the choking, and then it has a previous assault, family second. And then there's enhancement paragraph that's on tampering. So the repeat offender enhancement allegation, that has been waived.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
No problem.
Yes, Jocelyn, that's right, Judge.
So did you understand that to be the range of punishment, Mr. Alexander?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, off the record for a moment. Mr. Hitchens, if you and your client would go to breakout room number 3, the clerks will swear your client in and let you know if they have all the paperwork. So Mr. Watson, please go to breakout room number 3. We're back on the record. Mr. Alexander, if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Alexander, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, your punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. The state is proceeding on count 1 and waiving the repeater allegation, and they're waiving count 2. There's a $1,500 fine. The state will take in consideration County Court Cause number 653091. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, and there's to be no contact with Leticia, Leticia Herrera. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor. And
State,
we'd
is
ask
that,
that he did get credit for the time he's already served.
okay. State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counselor, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor, they have not.
Then to the offense as stated in count 1, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's guilty plea?
Been offered states order attachments, Judge.
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Alexander, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, he's been in custody approximately 229 days. He is, I'm hoping he's a changed man and he will get out and will not be in any more trouble. He's been in trouble quite a bit before, but hopefully he's learned his lesson this time. He says he has, and he wants to change his life and do better. And his mom has been sick, so hopefully he can get out and go spend some time with his mom.
All right. The court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $1,500 fine, time and money reward concurrent. Take in consideration County Court Cause number 653091. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Leticia Herrera. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Nothing from the state, Judge.
Nothing further from defense, Your Honor.
Mr. Alexander, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waived your right to jury trial, you do not, I'm sorry, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand, Mr. Alexander?
Yes, ma'am.
Also, because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're also not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Alexander,
Yes, ma'am.
Here's the speech. You know it's coming.
What's up?
How old are you?
29.
All right, you're 29 years old. Your
Yes, ma'am.
defense attorney is correct. You have criminal history.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
state filed on you as a repeater. If you are charged with any more felony cases, you are going to be a habitual. And you know what that means in Texas? That means that your minimum sentence is 25 years prison. That's what you start at.
Yes, ma'am.
So you can do one or two things, because I see there's all of your history is violent history, right? So it appears to me that it looks as though you are not ready or mature enough to be in a relationship. This is how you learn if you're ready for a relationship. Go out, buy an orchid, maybe have a family member gift you an orchid. If that orchid survives for a year, then you may be ready for a relationship, because orchids require patience. You can't move them around. You have to be tender with them. I have an orchid in my office. It bloomed when the staff got it for me. Can I throw it away? No. You know why? Because it was a gift. And I'm going to make that orchid survive. So you need to work on doing that. You understand? Because you do not want to be the grandfather at the prison when new people come in and they say, how's this place run? And everybody says, go ask Grandpa Alexander.
Not gonna do that.
All right, we say that, but people get out, they forget about the pains of being in prison and in jail. So know better, do better. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Normie, can you let them know 17F can go back? Miss Andrews, thank you for your patience. Happy Friday.
Thank you. Have a great day, everybody, and a wonderful weekend.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. Yes, Ed Bartholomew. Hello.
Mr. McGarity.
Yes, what is happening with Mr. McGarity?
Well, Your Honor, he wants a trial. We were discussing my potential conflict, he and I, in this case. And I need to see if we can resolve that, but we're set for a trial.
So when is this conflict? Because I don't want the conflict to appear on the day of jury trial.
No, it'll be before then, Judge. When's the jury trial set?
Well, no. I'm going to give you a date to come back. I'm not going
Okay.
to give you your jury trial. We're going to have a date for you to come back, for you to let the court know if there is a conflict. And
I will,
if
Your
there-
Honor, and I need to check a couple things out.
All right, Norma, on Mr. McGarity, can you recall this in 2 weeks, please?
Yes, ma'am. I can do, let's see. I can do the 11th,
That's my birthday. Let me check, though, see
the
what I have.
12th, or the 13th.
Just 1 second. May I get to my calendar, please?
Of course.
Thank you. I'd say let's do it the 12th.
All right, and Mr. Goki, if you are withdrawing from the case, just please have your motion filed by then.
It's not Mr. Gopi.
I'm sorry, Mr. Goki. Oh my gosh. He appeared on the video. I know who you are, Ed Bartholomew.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. So August 12th, you say your client is in the courtroom?
He is, Mr. McGarity, right here, Judge, standing in the
All right,
back.
Mr. McGarity, you can either appear in court on August 12th, or you can appear by Zoom.
We'll do it by Zoom, Judge.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And Ed, just so you know, Texas and Oklahoma want to join the SEC.
Oh, I know that, Judge. That'll be bad for LSU. We'll see you
Oh,
later.
no, it will not.
Well, Mr. McGarity's cousin is the McGarity from Texas Longhorn fame, so he's definitely a Horn.
Oh, okay. Well, you know
She's an
what?
LSU. She likes LSU.
Ed, as I tell everyone, in the SEC, we beat up on you on Saturday, and then, the next day we invite you to the barbecue. So I think Texas may end up coming to the SEC and scoring a lot of L's.
Well, Judge, recruiting will probably improve for us now that people could be seen on TV. I'll see you
But
later.
Ed, Canese will tell you in the SEC, you have to play every weekend. You can't take a weekend off.
Well, that's true, Judge. Every weekend. Miami
All
ought
right.
to know. I mean, Florida ought to know that.
Yes. Well, you'll see Canese with his Florida hat. He's already started wearing it.
He's speculating again. I'll see you. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And I
Have a
saw
blessed
Mr.
weekend, Judge.
Goki. All right, thank you. I saw Mr. Goki on the screen, Mr. Ruiz. All right, we'll see if he zooms back in.
I'm sorry, I didn't even see his name, but I heard you mention his name.
Yeah, I saw him zoom in, but then he zoomed back out again. All right, who are the parties on Watson?
Oh, Barry Hitchings, Your Honor, and Lewis Watson should be in the, appearing by Zoom from the jail.
Okay.
No.
I am Judge.
All right, thank you. Just 1 second.
Yes.
No, oh, no, Lewis Watson.
This is Lewis Watson.
So thank you. I was like, what? I'm like, Barry, you've been conferring with the wrong Watson.
Oh,
All right. Hiku, who are you here for?
Well, Judge, I'm appearing for Jim, and her name is Andrea Watson.
Ah, yes, it's a male Hiku.
Oh, okay.
And he's in the courtroom.
Okay. Can I talk to him?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Hiku, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
Okay.
And to the courtroom, I'll send you to number 3. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 2645, State of Texas versus Lewis Marino Watson. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the defense?
Barry Hitchings, attorney for the defendant, Lewis Watson.
All right, and are you Mr. Watson?
Yes, I am.
All right, and Mr. Watson, you need to lift your head up or move back a little bit because we can't see you. All right, we're proceeding by video. Any objections from the state?
No, Judge.
Any objections from the defense?
No objections to the defense, Your Honor.
Mr. Watson, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Defense, I'm showing you what's entitled acknowledgement of discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case? And did you review that discovery with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Watson, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
Off the record for a moment. Brenda, I just saw your chat. Do you need to step up? Okay. I'm sorry, I just saw it. State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than in an amount less than 1 gram.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Watson, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that the state is proceeding on the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? That the state jail felony, the range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Mr. Watson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent, was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe he is, Your Honor.
Mr. Watson, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 58 days in the Bexar County Jail under 12.44 of the Penal Code. There are no applications for community supervision or deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
It is, Your Honor.
State is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There have not been, Your Honor.
Then to the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Watson, I'm going to show you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call them the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will not be any live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client, Mr. Hitchens?
Well, just I think Mr. Watson has learned from this experience. I think this is a fair resolution of the case for all concerned. It's the intent of the parties that the credit for the time he's already served is the number of days, 58 days recited in the plea bargain. And I think it's the intent of the parties that this end up being judgment satisfied.
All right. All right, I'll follow your agreement. Sentence you 58 days in the Bexar County Jail on 12.44 of the Penal Code. Give you credit for any time served, and the court will show that the judgment is satisfied. Mr. Watson, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Your Honor.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Watson, good luck to you. We can go off the record. Mr. Watson, if you have a drug or alcohol problem, there are plenty of places in San Antonio that are free to you. One or two things going to end up happening if you continue on the path that you're on. Either you're going to end up in and out of prison for the rest of your life, or either you're going to end up dying from drug overdose or something else. Because let me explain something to you. The people who are cooking this stuff up in their kitchen, I guarantee you, none of them have degrees in chemistry. None of them went to school for chemistry, and none of them really care about the customer. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Watson. Norman, can you let them know that L6 can go back?
Yes, ma'am.
And thank you, Mr. Hitchens, for your patience.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes. All right, and does anyone know where the prosecutor is for Charles Ruiz, please?
Judge, the assigned prosecutor is Oscar Salinas. I believe he's out on paternity, so I reached out and they're finding out who's covering for him. But once the attorney shows up, Mr. Goki, I'm sure any one of them can hop in to talk to him.
All right, Mr. Goki, do you have all the discovery in this case? You're muted. All right.
Did that do
Yes.
it?
Yes. Do you have all the discovery in this case?
I do not, because Oscar Salinas tells me he has not had a complete mirroring, and he has not obtained the contents of a number of peripheral devices that were taken in this pursuant to this warrant.
All right. Does anybody know when another attorney for the state will be available to discuss this?
Judge, I'm sending them the link now.
All right, just give us a moment, Mr. Goki. We're going to have another person zoom in.
Yes, ma'am. I'm in a dental appointment and am going to have to go when my prosthodontist gets back from his lab.
Okay.
I signed on and out and back on.
Okay, no problem.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Hiku?
Yes, Judge. Jim has clarified for me that this case was re-indicted. So I guess it like got dismissed or something, or maybe something was wrong with the charging instrument. But anyway,
Yes.
It was recently re-indicted. And so he's just asking for another setting. At the same time, I think Marcus is on the case. So if I wouldn't mind talking to him just to see.
All right.
More information.
Marcus, if you can go to breakout room number 4, please. And so I'll put you at number 4. Then when you come back, I'll give you a setting date. And let me check my emails. Oh, and Brenda, if you needed to take your break. I'm sorry, I didn't see that before in the chat box.
Already went to.
Okay.
Your Honor, excuse me, I e-filed a motion for continuance fairly late last night, and I'm wondering if that's been provided you, because it explains a lot.
No, I don't have that.
Okay, it was e-filed and accepted. And
All right, clerks, do you have a motion that was e-filed?
Judge,
late
I'm sorry
last
to
night?
interrupt. I just called his office and they just forwarded the motion for continuance because I told them we didn't receive it from e-filing. So I just received it right now and I'll forward it to you.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you. And those can go back.
Okay, I just sent it, Judge. Can you let me know if you received it?
All right, thank you. Okay, it says that you're subpoenaed in another court in this motion. Has that changed, Mr. Goki?
well, it's resolved. I testified there from I think 9:15 until about 3 minutes till after 11. I had received a text from my prosthodontist that to come out to the clinic when I got out of that. When I got out of that, I came out to the clinic, but en route, I heard that Judge Boyd was looking for me. So when I got here, I checked in.
Norma, can you recall this for next week? And Hunter, just we're going to have the prosecutors be here next week on this.
Okay, Judge, I'll let them know.
I can do the 11th, Judge.
All right, we're going to come back on August 11th on Mr. Ruiz. So Mr. Ruiz? Yes, Mr. Goki?
Yes, ma'am. And given the discussion, I'm wondering if someone could serve me with what I heard, a reference to a new indictment. I
No,
was
that is
unaware
not,
of it.
that new indictment is not related to you.
Oh,
That's
okay.
That's another case.
That's comforting.
All right, we'll see you on August 11th.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Mr. Ruiz will be back August 11th.
Yes, Judge.
See you then. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you kindly.
May I be excused, Judge?
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Oh, and Hunter, the email that you sent to the prosecutor is going to be on this case. Can you let them know that there are discovery issues?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you.
Is he trying to view like a phone dump? Is that what's going on?
Yes, he's supposed to view a disc, and that's from June 30th.
I see. Okay, I'll let them know.
Yes. All right, thank you. And it's a disc that Mr. Goki is to see. All right, then I think we just have one more case remaining, and that's Justin Rodriguez with Warren Wolfe. Yes, Hugh?
Okay, Judge. Because it's been re-indicted, Judge Jim is asking if we can pass it to another setting.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of starts from the beginning. I don't know, but I did talk to Marcus, and I think maybe I can't really intervene with that part, but maybe the client can talk to Jim. I'll get a phone number from the client too, so we can have a conversation.
All right, Norma, Mr. Watson, can you give me a 30-day reset, please?
Yes, ma'am. September 9th.
Okay.
All right, and to the clerks on Mr. Watson, can you make sure that the previous case, have that file attached to this one so I can make sure I have a log? All right, Mr. Watson, can you approach, please? And you said September 1st, Norma?
The 9th, Judge.
9th, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
My allergy ear is acting up today, Norma. I think it's from all the rain.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Watson, we're going to bring you back on September 9th. You do not have to appear in court. You can appear by Zoom, okay? All right. And the deputy will give you a reset form, and I believe your attorney is going to want to speak to you to get your phone number and everything. So I'm going to send you to a breakout room so that your attorney can get your numbers that they need. And then you sign the reset form, and after that, you're excused. But remember, on September 9th, you can show up by Zoom.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So let me send you courtroom. If you could go back to number 3, please. All right. And Christine, has your client been sworn in?
No, Judge, we just finished the paperwork.
Okay, I'm going to send you to the breakout room so you can be sworn in by the clerks.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
So clerks, if you'll go to breakout room number 1, please.
Thank you, Judge.
Ed Shaughnessy, hello.
Greetings. Hello.
Greetings. Yes.
My client's on the phone, Your Honor. It's Hardaway.
Yes, so we're here for a discovery compliance.
Well, it's not necessarily a discovery compliance. I have all the discovery, I believe. I'm still trying to get some results from my expert who is out of state. The material's been sent to him, but I haven't got a report back from him.
Okay.
And he's I guess for lack of a better word, he's a forensic pathologist. And that's going to be one of the more overriding issues in this case. I don't think the state's going to disagree with that assessment.
So when is everything going to be completed?
I wish I could give you a concrete date, Your Honor. I keep seeking that, but I don't have it.
All right, I'm going to give a 30-day reset. And after that date, somebody needs to give me a concrete date, because after that, this is going to be set for trial. So
Okay.
I'm going to give a
All righty.
30-day reset. And then after that 30-day reset, I'll give you a trial date.
All right. One other matter, Your Honor, and I don't know what the state's position is on this. I just heard about it yesterday. My client is telling me that she is no longer working, hence cannot afford the GPS fees on her GPS monitor, which is not the full house arrest, but what do they call the other one? Tracking. Yes, she's on tracking GPS, and she's no longer able to afford that because she's no longer working because her job left town, apparently. I don't know what the court's thoughts are on that, or the state's, but I was just informed about it yesterday from my client. She's been in compliance the whole time. I don't know that. Does
I
the
tell you
court
what,
really
with
think?
regards to the GPS fees, I will put in that they're to be waived and she's to be placed on indigent status. But what I can tell you is I have no authority or control to waive the fees.
Oh, I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
I'm aware of that. I was wondering if the court would consider just taking GPS off as a condition.
Well,
because she's been in compliance the entire time. She has a child. She's not any
all right,
risk.
so this
to
is what we're
plead
going to do with regards to GPS. With regards to GPS, file your motion. We'll hear it next week.
Will do.
All right, Norma, when can we have a hearing on her GPS status?
I can do it Monday or Wednesday.
I think Wednesday would probably, is Wednesday the 11th?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I have to be in Uvalde in person on that day. I guess.
I can do it. I can do it. I can, you know what? I can fit it in any day of the week.
What
I'll make it
about a
work.
week? What about a week from today?
He wants it on 13th, Friday the
That's fine.
13th.
I can do it Friday the 13th. I'll make it fit.
Okay, well, thanks for that. I'll get you a motion. I'll talk to the state about it. Is Mr. Nisbet on this Zoom?
No, he is not. Mr. Nisbet is not, he won't be, he's on vacation.
Oh, good for him.
Right. So we're going to recall this for August 13th.
Okay,
On August 13th, I'm going to give you a 30-day reset. And then after that 30-day
Okay.
reset, it's going to be a trial date.
all righty.
All right. We'll see you then, Ms. Hardaway, on
Who-
August
who-
13th, and you can appear by Zoom.
Your Honor, who is available from the state?
Is this a criminal trial division case?
Yeah, yes, I believe so.
All right. We have Meredith, Marcus, and Hunter.
Can I talk to Marcus? Or do a breakout with Marcus?
Well, I tell you what I'll do. I'll send you to a breakout room, and whoever, joins you there.
Okay. Marcus is pretty reliable.
Oh, so what are you trying to say?
Well,
I
they're all
don't need to put
reliable.
anybody,
It's
thank you.
Greatest district attorney's office in the entire universe. How's that?
Oh, I'm just asking questions.
Well, that's the best I can come up with.
I love information. So, all right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2,
Okay.
and a prosecutor will meet you there. All right, everyone, I'm just waiting to receive the paperwork, and we will take up our final 2 cases. So everyone, we can take our break at 12:30, or we can push through with the last 2 cases. All right, Justin Rodriguez, have you been sworn in?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room. The clerks will swear you in.
Okay.
Then we'll take your matter up. So I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, Justin Rodriguez.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, who's the prosecutor?
Sure, Ray, Judge.
All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 4790, State of Texas versus Justin Ray Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced for the record, please? For the state,
Joe Ray Garcia.
for the defense?
Warren Wolfe.
All right, Mr. Garcia. I'm sorry, are you Mr. Rodriguez? Brenda, I don't know where these names are coming from.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're proceeding by video. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Rodriguez, I'm going to show you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
The court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you
Yes, ma'am.
review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Rodriguez, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
Counsel,
ma'am.
do you weigh the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rodriguez, next I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you
Yes, ma'am.
understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand what you're charged with? Excuse me, just a moment. Did you understand what you're charged with is assault, family choking, strangulation? That's a third degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state may call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is assessed at 3 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. That's to be probated. State recommends community supervision. They
Yes,
will
ma'am.
take in consideration County Court Cause number 624313. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Jocelyn Hernandez and Destiny Valdares. Destiny, D-Y-N-A-S-T-I-E. Did you understand with the affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am. And Destiny, who's Destiny?
That's the one in the misdemeanor charge.
Oh, it's Dynasty.
Oh, well, you know, I spelled dynasty, D-Y-N-A-S-T-Y. So I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know what people are doing. Brenda, we can go off the record. Brenda, I don't know what is happening to our school system. I don't know why they did away with language arts. I don't know why they did away with handwriting, but these are questions and answers that I can't solve here. I
Yes.
do know when I was in elementary school, they said when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. Well, everybody, they've just thrown those rules out the window. So how do you pronounce her name, Mr. Rodriguez?
It's Dynasty.
Dynasty. Okay,
Yes.
Dynasty. We're back on the record. D-Y-N-A-S-T-I-E.
Yes, ma'am.
Without the heart over the I.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counselor, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There'll be 120 hours of community service restitution, the BIPP course, and parenting classes. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense is charged in indictment. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all its attachments.
No objection to their admissibility.
Mr. Rodriguez, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiving Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right, for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. How the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, he's already, the TIC case out of County Court 13, I think you're familiar with County Court 13. When you're on a pretrial, you're going through a lot of these programs. He's on an ankle monitor right now. He's been taking all sorts of classes. I hope, and I've discussed this with Mr. Garcia, that perhaps he'll get credit for some of the classes he's already taken through Bexar County, and that when Mr. Garcia files the dismissal of the misdemeanor, then he'll be able to shed that ankle monitor for someone else who needs it. And he has been totally compliant. He's been in contact with me. He's been working. I have no doubt that he will successfully complete his probation. He has not been in contact with either of the ladies that are involved in these cases.
All right. So, Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes, ma'am.
has Child Protective Services been involved?
No, ma'am.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
All right. And who is Dynasty Valderas? What is her relationship to you?
Dynasty she's an ex.
All right. And how many children do you have?
I only have one child.
So if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
I'll be clean.
All right. And are you employed?
Yes,
What do you do?
I do concrete.
And how far did you go in school?
I graduated.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. There's a $1,500 fine. That'll be probated. 3 years in prison, suspended and probated for 3 years. Take in consideration County Court Cause number 624313. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There should be no contact with Jocelyn Hernandez and Dynasty Valderas. BIPP course, parenting classes with compadre y compadre, proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. 120 hours of community service restitution. That'll be waived if you obtain some higher level of education or a trade school certificate. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. So if something happens and you can't report by Zoom, you need to report in person. There'll
Yes,
be
ma'am.
regular UAs and random field visits, 1 time per month.
Yes, ma'am.
Rebecca, is there anything else that he needs?
No, ma'am, but I just wanted to clarify on Jasmine, is it Fernandez or Hernandez?
Oh, I'm sorry, Hernandez.
Okay, thank you.
Or is the H silent? I'll have to remember that. All right, Mr. Because Brenda, in French, you don't pronounce the H. Mr. Rodriguez, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And because this is a affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Rodriguez, you're young, but here's the thing. People, when they're in relationships, you've got to respect each other,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Children, the way they learn is they learn by what they see and what they hear.
Yes.
So whenever you see a little child running around and people think it's cute, I don't. But when you see a little child using profanity, they're using profanity because that's what they heard.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have a child. I don't know if it's a girl or a boy,
Yes, ma'am.
but children, when they see things, if they see their parents arguing and fighting, they say, oh, well, they're supposed to love each other. So I think this is the way people who love each other behave. If
Yes, ma'am.
someone is abusive in the relationship, they say, oh, this person says they love my mom or they love my dad. And so I guess hitting somebody shows that you love them. So you need to start focusing on that. And I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody, and I'm sure you've heard it. Before you get into any other relationship, get an orchid.
Yes, ma'am.
The good ones are like $12. Read the directions on how to take care of it. If that orchid can survive for a year under your care, and I mean survive by bloom and thrive, then you may be ready for a relationship. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room. You need to be patient because I have another plea to take up and probation needs to remain in this room to hear that. So I'm going to send you to a breakout room. Just wait for probation. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. And Mr. Wolfe, you can also go to number 2 with your client, and probation will be there shortly.
When I'm
Okay,
done,
thank you so
when
much.
I'm done there, do I need to go back to the main room?
No, you do not.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge.
You have a wonderful day.
All right, thank you. You too. Court is calling 2020 CR 7906, State of Texas versus Robert Michael Mefford. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Joey Garcia.
for the defense?
Christine McDonald.
And are you Mr. Mefford?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
We're proceeding by video. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Mefford, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Mefford, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mefford, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court's Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you
Yes, ma'am.
electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand what you're charged with? This aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mefford, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, there's a $1,500 fine probated, affirmative finding of deadly weapon. State recommends deferred adjudication, and there's to be no contact with April Mefford. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. We just have 2 minor things that we'd like to address with the court when we're able to.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement? I didn't hear you, Jerry.
Yes, Judge, it is.
Okay. Mr. Mefford, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that cannot be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargaining agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years. There be 120 hours of community service restitution, affirmative finding of family violence in the BIPP course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea. You're on mute.
Sorry. State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all its attachments.
Any objections?
Your Honor.
Mr. Mefford, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
The court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Judge, if we could address just one condition that the state is requesting. There is a no contact order, Judge. My client has 3 small children with the complaining witness. They're very actively involved in sports and extracurricular activities during the school year. Along with that, his son has frequent doctor's visits because he has a digestive problem. We're just asking if this court would consider a no harmful or injurious contact so that they'd be better able to work together on those matters, Judge.
All right. Well, this is what the court is going to rule with regards to that. For now, there's going to be no contact. Defense, if you want that to be changed, file a motion. I'll need the complainant here. If the complainant chooses to be here, I'll need to hear a more in-depth testimony before I change a no contact order as it relates to that.
Okay, Judge, I will do that. And just one more thing, Judge, my client is indigent. He is supporting those 3 children. We're just asking if he would take any consideration regarding the court costs as well, Judge.
Okay. All right, Mr. Mefford, are you
Yes, ma'am.
employed?
Yes, ma'am.
And what do you do?
I'm a contractor.
All right, there's a $1,500 fine that will be probated, 4 years deferred adjudication, no contact with April Mefford. That's Mefford. Is Child Protective Services involved?
No, ma'am.
I'm going to want parenting classes. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. The BIPP course. 120 hours of community service restitution. I saw here that we were here on June 24th for VA update. Is he receiving any type of treatment from the VA?
Your Honor, my client has an intake appointment with the VA on in September, early September, Judge. That was not included on the agreement with the state, Judge, but he is doing that on his own.
All right, I'm going to ask for a MIC evaluation, and I'll follow all VA appointments. Rebecca, if the VA is giving him some type of treatment, then we won't need to do that type of treatment with probation, but I still want him to be interviewed for the MIC unit. There's going to be regular Zoom reporting. If something happens and you can't report by Zoom, then you'll need to report in person. We'll do random UAs for first 2 months. And then if there are no positive UAs, then it will be regular UAs thereafter. Random field visits. 2 times per month. Proof of employment within 30 days. No employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. All right, Rebecca, is there anything else he needs?
Judge, in the beginning, I thought I heard you say affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Did you say that one? I know you said.
No, I'm
affirmative
sorry.
finding.
Thank you. There's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon as well. Thank you, Rebecca. Mr. Mefford, is there anything else you need from this court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am, there's not.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because the court has followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand, Mr. Mefford?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Mefford, I wish the best of luck to you on completing this deferred adjudication. Every decision you make from here on out, you need to ask yourself, is this something that can result in me going to prison for 20 years? This was a very serious case. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And in order to be successful on probation and to be successful with any doctors you're seeing, communication is key. If you're not open and honest, then nobody can help you. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. Probation will meet you there and go over conditions there with you.
Thank you.
Judge, just so I understand, did you say a MIC evaluation, but if he's in VA treatment, that you don't need additional treatment?
Well, no, he's not going to get additional treatment. The MIC unit is just a specialized unit, so they'll know what his issues are, and they're going to accept whatever the VA is doing. So if he's getting mental health treatment from the VA, they're not going to do more mental health treatment, but he is going to have to sign a release from the VA, so they'll know what's going on.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. All right, everyone. I'm going to stop live stream. We're done for today. I hope everyone has a great weekend, great Friday. And as I always tell people, please be safe. Mask up, people. Put on a mask. Socially distance. Brenda, do you know I went to the store? I had on my mask. They had the little signs where you stand. Do you know somebody kept walking towards me? And I'm like, is this paparazzi? Do I know you? I'm like, step back, 6 feet, people. They're like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, 6